2024 was another life-changing moment for you. Cartel comes a road now. After 13 long years of you just working, putting in your work and everything like that. What was it like now the very first time you linked with Cartel after he was back on the road?
So I was at a party, right? I was playing at a party and Cartel walked in, right? And there was a whole bunch of guys, there as well. A good sized entourage, And I was DJing at the party and somebody said to me, say, yo, Cartel just walk in, Remember, I haven't seen Cartel in years. I said, yo, too much people over there, so I'm not go over there right now. You understand? And he said, no, man, you name Chrome, go and go link him. I said, yo, link it later, if the crowd cool off. So that happened about 30 minutes after now, the crowd kind of cooled down a little bit and he was taking some pictures with some people and doing something. That was being the typical jovial Cartel. And there's a lot of securities around him. So I walked up to the security, say, Lincoln Cartel, and him looked at me like, and then one of the guys behind him said, no, man, I'm good, let him through, right? And I came through. So I walked up with the Cartel and I said, teacher, walk on. And he did this himself. Heal. I'll turn back in face and continue talking. Right?
Yeah.
And one of the guys, Rolex was beside him and Rolex touched him and said, teacher, I chrome that, Yo. He said, who? ZJ Chrome? But it was, and then he greet me and hug me up and say, Chrome, walk on, like whatever it is. So that was my first interaction with him coming out of prison. It was in the night, and he had on his shades. Probably don't even remember what Chrome looked like anyway, So that was my first interaction with the Cartel.
Right there. So then how did that go from that first interaction for you now to actually becoming his tour DJ? Because that's a big leap where I'm just giving you a kind of a hail to really embrace you to now let's go on tour together.
Yeah, Ben Cartel been keeping contact throughout the entire time, not every day, but we link when occasionally, you understand. We always keep a contact, and when this Freedom Street thing came about now, TJ reached out to me and be like, yo, bro, okay, I know you want to play on Freedom Street as well, but I want somebody who understands Cartel, the person, and have a deep connection with his catalog. You understand? For actually play for him. And he say, you being a DJ on the streets that you go so much party, everything, you can lead us in the right direction for say where we need to go with it. You understand? So that's what came about. TJ reached out to me and say, yo, let's do this. Cartel has always said that when him come out, there are certain people him not leave out. You understand? And my name and TJ name was definitely on that list. You know what I mean? So he's out now, and that's how it came about. So when he said that to me, I was like, bro, I don't even need to play. So I don't even interested about playing. Let me just focus on doing what we need to do here, because it's gonna be tricky. You understand? There are so many songs, and then we started to visit the songs, and then we realized that this is actually not for human. Like, this is just too many songs to actually choose and still be comfortable. You know what I mean?
And we're talking hits, not just normal songs,
Definitely. I mean, we've thrown out hundreds of okay songs. You know what I mean? And have to be narrowing down the hits, and still trying to throw the hits. So that's how it came about. And then, I guess from you do a good job the first time, or, why change? You know what I mean? So that's it. And Cartel, we have mutual respect, of course. Cartel know how much I rate him as a DJ. And I just know I rate Cartel from a long time. You know what I mean? And I know how he operates as well, his actions and how he move and what him not like, and them kind of thing there as well. You know what I mean? So I guess it just flawless between all of us. You know what I mean? It did take some work as well for me to understand some of the rehearsals to understand how he works, from that perspective, because I've never been behind the turntables when he's at the front, so it did take some work to kind of understand, okay, when he does this, it mean that. When he does this, it mean that. Because there's signs along the way that people don't pick up as well.
Of course, it's just like basketball, baseball. They'll do things at the side where nobody knows, but you know what it is.
Yeah. So these are the signs he's been using for years and years. I didn't understand them as yet, so I just it took some time to learn them. Took some time to understand certain things about him, the person. So yeah.
What was it like now DJing on that stage of Freedom Street, where it was like so grand, so big, everything's looking at you, everybody's seeing you, there's nowhere to quote unquote hide. It's just, here is everything that I've worked for in my life right now happening here. What was that like there, that being on that stage for Freedom Street?
If I tell you I was nervous, I'd be lying. I'm used to stages. Okay. So it's not very nerve-wracking for me. What I didn't want to do was make a mistake. I didn't want to do nothing that wasn't planned. All right. However, there's a video of me at Freedom Street. I was going like this, like whatever it is. When we just started out, I didn't have any monitors. So I don't know what had happened. But from the first time I had no monitor. I had no monitors until like a couple minutes into the show, like 10, 15 minutes into the show. That's when I got the monitors. But not to be cocky or anything, but that's why you hire a professional. You understand? So I was cussing that, I don't have any monitors. But I use my other skills from being an engineer, from being a DJ for the longest while, to manipulate what was going on without anybody noticing. If that camera didn't catch me, nobody would have known. You know what I mean? That something is off. People will say, I saw you on the camera, you're doing this, like something is going wrong. But I'm like, yeah, something's going wrong, but nobody can tell. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that happened, and it was cool. It was hard at some points because I couldn't see him where I was. I didn't have clear vision of him. So I had to be using more than anything else my ear. But, we did what we did. Of course, we jumped off track of what we were rehearsed at some points, but we jumped back on track, at other points. A lot of the songs that we rehearsed, we didn't get to do based on the time and so on. So we had to be cutting through the list to try and get to some of the songs, before. And that happens at every show, if I'm being honest with you. Time always running also, we have to be jumping. But I mean, it was an amazing feeling to be on that stage, and it was an amazing feeling to be there and be the one behind, along with TJ, of course, with the song selections and knowing what to do at where. When some of the persons are coming on stage, we didn't know they were coming on stage. Some of them were surprises. We didn't know Bounty Killer was coming on. We didn't know certain things were coming on. So it's all surprises, but being, in the game for a while, well enough to deal with these things. So, just make it up now, make it look flawless, make it seem flawless.
Yeah. No, you gotta learn this is show business, and you gotta do a lot of stuff on the fly. You have structure, but there's still a lot of wiggle room where you gotta figure it out as you go along. And once a team is gelled together, we all understand what's happening.
And that's all we need. We need structure. That's all we need. We just need the roots, and then we will figure everything else out. And as I mentioned, we don't have a panic team. So if somebody falls off stage, we're still cool. We know what to do. You understand?
Yeah. Because you did, so it's Freedom Street you guys did already. You guys did the Barbados, did Bahamas, then you did the Barclays. Barclays was this is now another grand stage where this is Barclays, bro. You understand? This isn't Amazura or one of these places. This is Barclays, bro. How did you prepare for something like that? And even with the special guests, were you the DJ for all the special guests both nights also? Or they had somebody else there that was helping you along the way as a DJ?
Yeah, I was a DJ for all the special guests apart from Skilly Bang. Skilly Bang brought his DJ. But yeah, again, a lot of these things are on the fly. We didn't know every single special guest that was coming on. But we know how to work it. And then let me just be honest, like if you're working with someone like Kartel, there's not much that can go wrong in terms of, as long as he has a microphone, something is going to happen. So if you play a wrong song, he will either just tell you, say, yo, you played the wrong song, bro. You understand? Or if you mess up, he will just mention that, you messed up, bro. But he will just continue. You know? He's not gonna stop the entire show and be like, yo, you messed up. Let's go back to start back over from track one. Nah. You know what I mean? So working with someone like him is still it's still easy to work with. So where the guests are concerned now, on the fly we're learning some of the guests, but sometimes we have a little idea that they might be coming. At the time, we're not sure because we're always in a time crunch. You know, by the time we plan this set of 100 songs and we have the time and we time them out and we do the rehearsal for it, but then by the time we reach song 50, we're like, yo, you have to turn off now. So, you know, so the timing of them coming in is always a little skewed, you know. So, yeah. But Barclays it was amazing, just the entire atmosphere of hearing that 360 crowd in an enclosed space was crazy.
Yeah.
You understand? Looking from Cartel's view and seeing all the lights, you know, it's out of this world.
I would think that's almost, I wouldn't say nerve-wracking, but it's would be almost overwhelming, especially the lights part there. When you see so many lights just coming you at once, it's like, how do I catch my breath from this, boss?
Yo, if you see any video of me, I'm always smiling, I'm always loving it because I'm also a fan, so I'm also excited. You know what I mean? So I'm also excited about everything that's going on. I'm happy to be a part of this as well. You know what I mean? My main thing with all of this is do not mess up. Do not mess up. Do what's rehearsed. Do not mess up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's my main focus most of the times. Yeah, and then of course, as I mentioned, all the things that come now, to treat them properly on the fly. The question is always, okay, where do we pick up back from here? When we jump off track, where do we pick up back? You know what I mean? So but it's becoming. I mean, we've done quite a number of shows. You mentioned them. You left out Tartola though, and yeah, we did Tartola. Tartola was the first one. Post Freedom Street. Tartola was the first one. Yeah.
Why do I not remember? I remember Barbados, I remember Bahamas, clearly Barclays, Costa Rica that didn't have, but I don't remember why.
Tartola, yeah. Tartola was the first one.
Yeah. Okay.
First one.
Yeah. You know what? Yes, because Tartola is a Virgin Island also?
Yes, I think so, you know.
Yes. Now I remember Tartola, yes. To me, everything was great. Barclays, Freedom Street is crazy. But to me, the tightest show that I've seen that you guys done so far would have been Bahamas. It seemed like everything just happened to work. Cartel came up with that super confidence. You were firing around there. Everybody was just firing when it came to that Bahamas show, bro. That right there was freaking crazy.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, Bahamas was out of this world. I mean, there's a difference in the crowds as well. It's like, just like a party. Sometimes you get a crowd that is more laid back versus a crowd that is very fun. You know what I mean? Bahamas was one of those fun crowds. You know what I mean? They came to have a good time and they were going to have a good time. You understand? Cartel came out and Cartel delivered. You know what I mean? And pretty much all the shows, you know what I mean? Barclays was the same thing. They just wanted to see Cartel. You know, Cartel came out and him just doing thing. I mean, but yeah, I mean, everybody can have their own, you know, favorites. So that's cool.
Click here to watch the full episode and don't forget to subscribe.